Hello, what makes a stock good for swing trading? Well, having higher lows at the valley of the chart and having higher peaks are what makes a stock good for swing trading. Even if you purchase the stock at a price that is not the right price, at a higher price, you still know that you'll make a profit in it, because at some point it's going to come back up and surpass where you purchase it. So I went through those the past 2 days, but I made the video without the audio didn't come through. Therefore, we are going to quickly review them. So we are going to start with the one we did yesterday and just go back up from there. So we are going to start with PJR. So PJR, we are going to go to maximum monthly chart, and you can see that the value line that we chose to buy at is upward, is uptrending. So we connect the higher lows, so it's making higher lows. The obvious V bottom that we are touching with the line is higher and higher as we go closer to the present. And as we look at the inverse V at the top, or the peak of the mountain, they are getting higher and higher. So therefore, this is a growth stocks good for swing trading, especially based on the strategy we are using. And I think finding stocks that are comparable with the strategy you are using makes those stocks good for swing trading. We are buying at the support line to sell after a new high is reached. Therefore, having not only the valley line is uptrending, but having the peak of the mountain uptrending as well allow us to, yes, buying it at a higher price when we come back down to the valley, but selling it at a higher price as well. And if you purchase it at a price, at the wrong price, you know that it's growing. It's a growing stock. Therefore, it's going to at some point surpass where you purchase it, and it'll become positive for you. So pretty much, even if you purchase it at the wrong place, you will still make profit in it. Because we do not set a stop loss, we don't like to sell at a loss. We prefer to, to find stocks that are good to swing trade using the strategy we are using. And this one made a car for 2026. The next one is GL. So GL is uptrending as well. I will think we trace lines here, but I'm not seeing any. So we can trace together. We have this support line that is a little bit horizontal here. From here, we can trace this support line and let's see if we'll be able to trace something. Okay, so it's just taking too long to show the line that we traced yesterday. Okay, so pretty much we traced those lines and color code them yesterday, and now I'm tracing it again. So I'm just going to take the one that I just traced out of there. But yes, so you can see that the value line is touching higher lows, and then we have the peak that is higher and higher. So therefore, and in 2025 we have a new high there as well. So pretty much every 2 years or so we have those peaks. So we chose those two lines that there is a possibility it could come down to this valley line sharply for a month or so and go back up, but it does not do that often. So we have those two lines that we chose to buy at, and it's going to make it to 2026 watch list, at least the primary one, the primary one. So we have AFL as well, and you can see that the valley line is uptrending. So we have higher lows, and then we have the mountain peak that every few years is creating a higher peak almost every year around here, and a little bit longer here as well. It's uptrending, but at this time we prefer to wait to buy at that line, this line, or this one. And it seems this one is quite long as well, but we notice that like when there is a big economical crisis, it tends to dip lower. And this is, we have the year on the axis from the past to the present, and the price on the y-axis. So around 2020 and around 2008. So you know, those big economical crisis moment, it dip, and then but after, other than that, it tends to follow that up trend that is doing it. It did it here as well. Therefore we kept this one that it could be a buying entry as well for us. Otherwise this one will be, it's going to be in the watch list for 2025, at least the original one. If they land, if we have too many, then we might look through them again to see which one we'll keep and which one we want. We have BRO, that the valley line is uptrending, and the mountain peak every 2 years or so is creating that peak. Right now it's on its way down. So this made it to our car as well. You can see that the highest peak is in 2025. The next one, so it made it to it as well, is AJG. So AJG, you can see we have those two lines that we trace. Right now it pull away from that and start going down. We don't know if it's going to come down here. We are going to keep observing it. This trend line is quite long, 1 2 3 4 5 6 years, but it breaches, so we don't know if it's going to come down to this one, which is longer. It just has not touched base with it in a while, since after 2020. So we are going to continue observing it. We chose those two to be our entry point, but you can see that it's making higher highs every year or so, and then the valley line is, we are having higher lows as well. So that shows growth, quite a steep growth here, but growth nonetheless. So we are going to continue observing it. And that made the car as well. So the next one is MMC. I analyzed those the day before as well. MMC, and I'm not sure this is MMC. Okay, maybe it is. So MMC is coming down, so we chose this line to be where we want to buy. We don't know if it's going to come all the way down there like that or not, but we can see that we have higher lows, and then every few years is reaching a higher peak as well before it will pull back, and those peaks are higher than the previous peak. Even though it will breach the previous peak within a year, it will continue making higher peaks for a year or so, which make those peak even further higher than the previous one, and so forth. So it made the car as well. The next one, okay, we are seeing a higher peak as well almost every year, but it seems like it's done going up. The last high was in 2023, and it could well be on its way down. So we pick those two to be our entry point, and we are going to keep observing it. It left this valley line for so long and has not come back down to it, and we could trace some support lines here. I would prefer just not to buy at that line, just in case it was done with a wanted to go back, it wanted to pull back. For the past 2 years, it has not exceeded this peak yet, so we are just going to keep observing it to see what it's doing. And I'm not sure if this is going to be the new valley line. It is a possibility, but we are going to keep observing it. Because when it touched base before here and went up, it didn't breach this peak before it pulled back to it. So I don't really want to think this will be the valley line, but we are just going to keep observing it. So GPN, we chose this valley line to be the line we like to buy at. So it seems to be kind of horizontal. Did you even pick it at all? So let's first look. So if we will buy, it's going to be around this valley line, and you can see that this valley line is uptrending a little bit, but is quite horizontal. So if I put my mouse here, you can see the price corresponding to it is low compared to this one, which is around 40, but still it seems kind of horizontal here. And if that's the case, it made quite a bit of wide mountain before it's pulling back. So we just prefer, if it's going to take that many years, it's like it's taking 6 years to go up, 6 years to go down. So we just prefer to wait. We'll buy around that valley line and then hold on to it for 6 years. For 6 years or so. So it'll be more like a short-term investment, and that's why I put short-term investment, and I did that for this one as well, because I know that those could take longer to sell. So FI is another one, and at this point I'm observing it to see what it's doing, and if we will buy, it's going to be around this support line, unless you wanted to use this as the new valley line. Otherwise it's going to be this one. We don't plan on adding it to our watch list, but we purchased it there and it pulled back on us, so we are going to keep observing it to see what it's doing. It's quite a bit of drop, and just tell us that even though we try to buy around this support line, which is a long support line, has multiple touch points, I'm not entirely sure why it came back down to this one. So it could well go up from there as well, and it could even, we might even decide to buy a little bit there to observe. But this does not have much touch point. That is why I think if we'll buy, if it'll come back down to this one, we might buy it there. But other than that, I just think this is a good valley line. It has so many touch points there, and is where I would prefer to buy. But we are going to keep observing it. And at this point, I think I'm just going to put, why not, short-term investment there as well. Not because it's a good one, but there is something unusual going on with it. That drop is just unusual. It does not have any touch point with this other than one touch point or two there. So that's why I'm thinking that this is a temporary spot for it. Whether it will continue going down to here or sharply it will pull back to this line. So, but again, I don't trade with the news. That's why I'm not doing much with it other than just observing whatever is going on in the news or in that company news, what impact is having on the chart. I'm just observing that through the chart. So MAN, by just putting short-term investment, we'll be able to, if we make it to our list or maybe our watch list for short-term investment stock, we might continue keeping an eye on it and see what's going on. So MA, again, we have our value line that we like to buy at, and right now it pulled back to this support line, but if we will buy, we will prefer to buy at this, just in case it's done with this valley line. So as we are, it reached a new high in 2025, and I don't think this is the valley line, so this will be, and that's where we like to buy. But we can see it does make a new high after it pulled back to the valley line. Within a year and a half, it will reach a higher peak and then go up from there for a while before it will pull back. So it did that, and it has been on after it reached this peak here for the past 2 years, and for 2 years now it has been on the rise. So we prefer to wait on it here. So if we look back, we have those that pretty much they made it to our preliminary 2026 watch list, to the exception of this one. But we like to keep it to keep an eye on it to see what is going on. And we know that those three will be more like a long-term investment because they do not reach a high peak quickly, and when they reach it, they can go higher for a while, and then they'll pull back. They will take time to pull back to the valley line for you to buy. So they will be more like more than 1 year hold in your portfolio before you sell them. That's why I'm labeling them short-term investment. But this conclude, what makes a stock a good stock for swing trading. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for watching our videos, and thank you for subscribing to our channel. I'm Afiavi Liberman, creator of Liberman Consulting L.L.C YouTube channel, and ninasoap.com, our blog. On our channel and on our blog, we share different ways to save money and different ways to make money to reach your financial independence, where you do not depend on an employer to provide for your family. And swing trading is one way to make money. Just start small and grow your account from there. For more of our swing trading tips, will you please check the playlist in the description. And if you are looking for ways to create your own watch list, we have a playlist for that as well, and it will be in the description of this video. And this video is brought to you by our online store, liberlabel.com, and we listed a tote bag if you are looking for a gift for a family member or a friend or yourself. If you are in the market for a tote bag, please check it out. Thank you.